All right, what's up, folks? Today is the 30th of December, 2024. My name is Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company. This is In The Image Clothing Company Music, 1/3 of our company. We also have the main side of things where we discuss the anatomy of the human body and clothing, how those two things relate to each other, and just allow the body to work through what we do over there. And then we have the other third of our company, which is In The Image Clothing Company podcast, where we have discussions on the gospel of Jesus Christ. But here on the music side of things, we do music. And this is Frank the guitar. Little Yamaha CGS102A half-sized beautiful guitar. This is my guitar that's a little bit customized. I've put a radius in the fretboard, in the saddle, and in the nut slots. Now, anyway, on the music side of things, I do a lot of things with guitars to allow our bodies to work with them. I do music, and we just make cool music, and any way and every way that I'm going to be approaching music through this side of our company, I'll just do that. So I'm a fingerstyle guitarist, and one thing I'm going to talk about here is, I put that on the 4th fret. I didn't realize that. Capos. I just got this capo. I haven't had a capo for quite a while. I haven't had a guitar for a little while, and so I didn't have any kind of guitar accessories either. And I got Frank here a couple weeks ago. I've made quite a few videos with him. Actually, it's only been about a week and a half since I've had him. And I'm going to show how to put a capo onto a guitar, how to use a capo, what a capo does, and how to properly actually put it onto your guitar. So when we think about a capo, that's what this thing is here. It's just a little clampy, hingy thing that goes onto the fretboard. And when you're putting a capo on, it essentially becomes the nut, right? This is the nut, this white piece up here, where the strings like stop at. They come up and they have a break angle. The capo just becomes the nut. So you put the capo here on the 3rd fret, and now the capo has become the nut. So this basically doesn't exist anymore. From the capo up to the headstock, and it's just from the capo down. So, few things with a capo. You want to be very intentional. If you know me, Evan Strong, at all, if you know In The Image Clothing Company music at all, and the videos that I've made, I'm extremely intentional about stringing techniques and about angles of things and keeping things evenly spaced as far as the strings. And when you place a capo onto a guitar, what you really want to do is be very intentional when you put it onto the frets, that you put it into a location where when it presses down on the strings, it doesn't roll them. You have a really high potential to place a capo onto your strings, and usually the way that it'll roll it is toward the side that it's hinging. And you don't want that, because now, instead of like an even distance from like side of the fretboard to the other side where the strings are going to be, you're going to have them be different. If you can see like my left hand, if the strings are rolling this way because the capo is pinching them and pulling them upward, then you're going to be playing, and instead of fretting like this, watch my left hand, you'll actually be up a little bit, and the left shoulder will change, but that'll change the right shoulder. The body's all connected as a whole. The body only actually works as a whole, or else something else and many things within it have to compensate. So when you place a capo on, what you can actually see is on the rear of the neck, where the most of the pressure is being placed, you want to be right in the very center. And you see how there's a gap here, and I didn't put the capo all the way up against like the edge of the fretboard, because that will actually potentially really move those strings. So yeah, get the pressure to be placed right in the center of the fretboard with the rear of the capo, and then that will just press the strings right down to the center, like evenly against the fretboard. Now, another thing is, when we're fretting notes, like if I were to just make a bar chord on the 5th fret right here, you want to be right? Just as if we're fretting any note. You don't want to be right in the center of the spaces of the fret, but you're all the way down towards the bottom of the guitar with your fretting. Like if I'm going to be fretting an A minor, I wouldn't be placing my fingers here, I'd place them here, like down to the bottom of those frets on each one. So here, here, and here, ideally, right? Just to the bottom of that fret space. So as you can see where my capo is placed, it's the same thing. You don't want to just place the capo right between the fret spaces. You want it down at the bottom as if that capo is your finger fretting a note. Because what'll actually happen is the intonation, which is what they call it when, like how you can fret a note right in the center. I think you can probably hear that within the mic. How it's kind of like going up and down a little bit. But I'm within the same fret space on, that was just on the 7th fret, just for an example, or I can do it on the 5th. But going up or down within that fret space, it can change the tuning just very slightly. So when you do place your capo onto your strings, you want it to be in the same location that it would be in if you were to be fretting the note, to keep it really well in tune. So just like this. Now, capos are awesome. Normally, oh yeah, like I said, I haven't had a capo in quite a while, so this is gonna be so sweet to be able to have. It's actually a Christmas present for my mom. Really sweet. So, capos are really sweet. That was a separate really sweet from my first really sweet there, but capos are cool because they lock the strings in place well. Like I'm saying, do it centered, but then your left hand, your fretting hand can work so much easier than even having like a really well set up like stringing technique at the headstock and nut slots. Even if that's all really, really well done, there's still so much more play up here than if you have a capo just really locking those strings into where they're not going to move. So it's actually in a lot of ways easier to practice fretting notes using a capo because they don't move. The strings are locked into place. So anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just so much more precise because of what it's doing. So that, gosh, you can see the joy within me, man, just to have a capo. Like I say, we don't just only do instructional videos here. We do them and they're informational and that's the point. But I also just play and make music. And so I'm so excited to have a capo. So yeah, I think it's most common to put a capo on the 3rd fret or the 5th fret, sometimes the 1st. It just depends, because really what it's doing is putting the guitar into a different key. So that's on the 5th fret. So this is, now I've said this before, if you capo a guitar on the 5th fret and play only the highest 4 strings, these ones, that's actually a ukulele. So that's, you can play everything you can play on a ukulele by doing what I just did. Capo it on the 5th fret, and just don't play these lowest 2 bass strings because ukuleles don't have those. Okay, so that is a capo on a guitar. Now I have one, so now any videos from this point forward, I might be playing with a capo, and might be playing with a capo quite a bit because, like I said, I really love what it does to lock those strings in place. So it is the 30th of December, 2024. My name is Evan Strong. This is In The Image Clothing Company Music, and that is how to use a capo on a guitar.